Good morning. It's Monday, June 8th, I believe, and you are in my Zone 5B garden. We started out with a little picture of a rabbit. There are, in fact, baby rabbits. I believe that they are living underneath this 9 bark here, and they have been enjoying my newly planted lawn. They do, as babies, seem to be focusing right there, which is most near to their little nest, but what I'm finding is that, at least up there, I don't believe they're pulling out the new grass from the roots, but they are definitely trimming back what is there down to a very low level. So it's now looking like, the only part of the lawn that's been mowed, and then we've got the rest of it. The rest of it has been mowed once, and what you see, where you see these little bits of the kind of green, straw stuff, is some remnants of, I think, bamboo bits that are embedded into a net that I had gotten to actually cover most of the lawn to help it germinate, and it actually worked. So grateful for that. So let's take a look here at the garden a little bit more fully. The gladiolus are absolutely doing great. I had given them some insecticide early in the summer to help keep the thrips at bay, and that seems to have worked. This gladiolus, by the way, is taller than I am. This is over 5'6", heading towards 6 feet. So look at it all the way in the ground. It's the tallest one. So we've got some things doing quite nicely here in the pots. We have some lantana here. There's lantana, and there's a little bit of dwarf morning glory underneath. I have some parsley seeds that have sprouted and some basil leaves that have sprouted around it. We've got our dianthus. We have our proven winners, cafe petunias, the cafe supertunias. Those are doing nicely, but as you can see, I have not at all cut any of these supertunias back here in the front. It has just done really nicely. It's only very recently that it started to spill over the side of the pot at all, but it's been just nicely behaved, and now the heat is really giving it a treat. Another dianthus. Yeah, you can see it's just starting to overflow the pot. More of the lantana with the bits of morning glory coming from around it. This is a cosmos that I transplanted. I had it in a pot in the backyard, and then a couple of these little parsley seedlings have come up as well. You can see a few there, and there's a couple of them here in the front, just from seeds that I had scattered down, and now this lantana is just going nuts, so I'm going to pull out these little parsley bits and put them elsewhere in the garden. The orange gladiolus, this was from a mix last year from Walmart that had gotten quite a lot of thrips damage, but I think over the winter, and our winter was so incredibly warm that what it did was killed off, I think, a lot of the thrips, and so we just have beautiful yellow, white, and orange, and a couple growing back there from a few years ago. Even they don't really bloom, but they do send up stalks, so I leave them there. Let's see, so let's take a look a little bit over here. These are the bee's knees petunias. I bought them at the Home Depot because they had such phenomenal reviews and they looked really cute. I found them struggling a whole lot here, but they are finally starting to do something. But as you can see, half the pot is doing okay, the other half not so much. It has not filled out like I expected, but it's also been so cool and wet that I think the supertunias have struggled a bit. At least now they mostly look like they are not filled with holes from the budworms. They were all looking like this for a couple of weeks, and Captain Jack seems to have taken care of much of that, which is really nice. I've got to get some more. Some additional gladiolus, some lilies that I had just gotten last year and thrown in the ground. They came up again. I'm just not satisfied with this front bed. It looks great earlier in the spring, as I have the tulips coming in. Before I can just point one thing out there, transplanted a sunflower from the backyard up here to the front, and it is doing something. But it's I was going for like a Kuchenhof style thing, and I just don't have enough space or enough flowers, or really enough knowledge of how that all works to have made it look good. And so instead it just looked like a patchwork quilt filling in. This strip right over here is going to be replaced with a bed for more tulips and other bulbs. So I just don't want it to look like I got a patch here and a line there and a patch here and a line there. So just got to try to figure that out. But yeah, look at how well this lawn is doing now. I'm telling you, that mat that we put over took this area here that struggled for a month and had like maybe a couple of little grass seedlings and a ton of amaranth pigweed. It now actually looks like a lawn. There's still piece patches that need to fill in. So I have reseeded those and added compost on top. This area around here, it just does not want to fill in at all. It's got maybe a couple of shoots, but we'll have to figure that out. I don't know if you can see the bunny is back. They're not even scared of me anymore. They just come out here and primarily stick around up there. This tree, it probably looks to you like it has a nice half of tree there, and then this half is pretty bare. The wind that comes through here ends up just like killing a lot, like half the side of the tree, and I'm trying to make that work and hoping it will flush out again, but we'll see. This may end up getting replaced with a Japanese tree lilac at some point. Some plants down there finally actually starting to do something, just because it really has been so cool and rainy. But yeah, I'll give a better close-up here, right? Like almost no grass seedlings, and then you'll see like one little seedling, and I'm confident we'll eventually get something to happen, but yeah, most of what we see under here is nothing, but there's a little bit of stuff coming up, so we'll give it some more time. And of course, back over here is a little cinquefoil that I had gotten on clearance a couple years ago, and then it comes up a little bit here. I knew that it was just one of those plants that was supposed to survive everything, and it is. It's just not terribly attractive, so it's not gonna stay for long. Let's see. And then last part of the plan is I'd love to get this area right over here turned into a tulip bed as well. And frankly, the overall plan is to just redo all of this rocked area. I'd love to end up with it all mulched. I'd like to remove the dogwood. It's actually doing well, but it's just this wild bush. And I dislike those two bushes there that are, I think, little devil nine barks. But they just look sort of weedy and all. So we'll get it figured out. I'll leave you with a picture of this little rabbit who is keeping me company. This one's clearly a young one. I think I heard that after 2 weeks they're no longer watched by their mom. I have not seen the mom in about a week, so I think that this little rabbit is now a teenager and is nibbling all the grass. Sometimes it's nice to have company out here when I'm watering, though. All right, have a great day. If you're my nephew Kyle, I love you, honey, and I'll talk to you soon.